In this video, I'm going to share with you a simple process that doesn't rely on heavy editing at all to make good videos. In fact, this video is part of the video series which I try to start from the beginning and progressively make the video better and better and better. So I'm doing the same video over and over, but each time I try to improve something. And as I'm doing so, I explain to you what I'm doing so you can do it as well. So if you are a veteran to this channel, you know the drill. Use the timestamp in the description to go ahead. But if you are new to this channel, welcome. And I'm going to review what we did so far before moving on to the topic of today's video. But don't hesitate to go watch the series from the beginning because we are already far ahead. We have done a few videos already. So let's review back what we did and then we'll move on to the subject of this video. So until now, as you can see, we have done a few videos, which the first one was about making a raw video without anything except the title and thumbnail. Then we went on to do the storytelling structures and the slide deck visual and cheap microphone. Until now I was actually reviewing each of those parts, really explaining all those things, but I think that start becoming a bit redundant. So that's why I'm going to go very quickly on that, still recapping what this table is and how this is useful in your journey. Mainly if you want detail about each of those, you can just go and watch those videos. So you see the one was just the title and thumbnail, TNT. Then the second video was about a storytelling bullet point. Basically what was in the first video was just rambling things on top of my mind. In the second video I just take a piece of paper and apply a little bit of structure to it without getting too complex with that, just having some bullet point to follow. Then that was about adding some visual, as you can see here, using a slide deck, something very simple that you can share on your screen, and making there's a little bit of editing, but not that much. That's very, very light. And as I said in a previous video, you want every time you add editing to actually provide 10 times more values. And I believe that adding those visuals in a way that I'm doing so, where I'm recording my screen next, just moving things around to make the video more interesting, I think that brings a lot more value without adding that much editing time. And then in the last video, that was about the microphone, as you can see here, the cheap microphone. So in the last video, I fucked up because I didn't have the power, it was off, but I managed to make it work today. So we have the microphone, because also what I want to explain is this, at this point, just improve the experience, the overall experience of the video, but it doesn't make a better video. That's why you see the views per video or the total sub. And each time you add something, that's either going to be adding more views or more subscribers. And to add more views, you need the video to be substantially better. When it comes to subscribers, this is more about the experience of the user, of the viewers, that is to make them want return to the video. You need to make, and the audio is primarily that, it's about the experience. So that's why the view, I didn't think it will change that much the views, but people that like the content will like it even more, and so will be prone to actually want to subscribe. So before we move on to the subject of today's videos, I want to spend some time talking about the algorithm. We already went a little bit on it last time, but I want to come back to it a little bit more. See, when you are posting a video, you get impression, and impression is the key aspect. And I think people are focusing too much on the views and not enough on impression. If you don't get impression, you just don't get views. So you publish, and then depending on the algorithm, that know if your channel is good or not, and so it have a rough idea of how many people it need to push your video to. This is how you get started. Then using that, you have a chance to actually get views, and then your title and thumbnail just converting those chance into actual views. But in order to get more impressions, that's not enough. In order to get more impressions than the initials you add, this is about making a good videos. Then, because this is going to lead to more watch time, which the more watch time you have, the better, the more impression you will get. And so this works a little bit like that. The first round of the circle is just your audience, your niche, the people that already have watched your video. The algorithm knows they like your type of video, and then the algorithm, when you publish a video, just pushing to those people because the algorithm knows those people like the video. Then once you have this have made a turn, and those people that are supposed to be liking the video are actually liking it, then the algorithm might consider, okay, so maybe we can expand to other type of people, to the niche that you are actually, not just your audience, but the niche overall where you are. This gives you a next level of impression. And this go on like this, over and over and over. And so at some point, the maximum that you can reach, that Mr. Beach is reaching, is about the total addressable market, which is the entire market in which you are in. And so what is happening is on each of those levels, this is about for every 1,000 impression, because those algorithms generally try to normalize the data, compare things. You need to be able to normalize, meaning compare apple to apple. You need a way to compare things. So generally what happens, you take a sample size, which is, for instance, 1,000 impression, 10k impression, I don't know the exact number, but this is primarily, I think, how they do it. And then for those 1,000, you just analyze, okay, what's the CTR, the click-through rate, meaning how many people click when they get an impression, which is primarily dictating how good your thumbnail is. Then you have the average view duration, the duration that people are on average are watching your videos. But as I said, we want to compare apple to apple. So how do you compare two videos side by side is just through the percentage of the length of the video. This is how you normalize it. It's because it doesn't matter if the video is 10 minutes, 20 minutes, the percentage of view duration is just overall how long have you watched the video compared to this maximum length. And then you have the total watch time. If you are producing just videos that are 1 hour long, where people are watching a full hour, where on the other side you have only 2-minute videos, there is a lot more people that are watching it, then you see how those things can counterbalance. So there is a weighting of those parameters depending on how some parts are performing well than the others. That's how smart they are trying to build this algorithm. And so for each level that I've shown you, first your own audience, then your niche, then the market above, you will have some threshold that will be established based on those primary key information. And the video is going to be pushed to broader and broader and broader audience until your video cannot exceed this threshold. All of that I did because I wanted to challenge one idea. You don't get views if people don't click on our video. Well, that's true, but that's not enough. They need to watch it and watch it through. Doesn't matter how good your video is, if they are not watching it, then you are not going to get more impression. And also that's something that is very interesting that you will see. What happens is generally when your video are pushed to your audience, you have some crazy click-through rate, 15%, 20%. Something crazy, because this is normal. This is people that like your video, know who you are, and want to watch more about what you are doing. And then when you go broader and broader audience, the click-through rates slowly deteriorate. And my belief is that the algorithm takes that in consideration, because if it doesn't, then it will just stop promoting. But this is more an indirect correlation. I think the watch time and the average view duration is the key metric that the algorithm is looking at to create more impression. But of course, if people are not watching your video, you don't get those. So I'm not sure that the algorithm is watching at the click-through rate really, but the click-through rate is something important to get the key metric that the algorithm is looking for. Because even if you have 0.5% of CTR when you're reaching a very broad audience, if each of those people are watching the entire video or even watching it multiple times, well, you can get enough, you can get above the threshold to get to higher and even more impressions. So I wanted to just challenge these ideas. I find it's very interesting, so I hope you do as well. So moving on, what we did in this video. Well, this is about background music, and you have two options for that. You have the free option and you have the paid option. And one of those, yeah, not that good. First, the free option, and this is a bad one. Generally, when you are getting started, background music isn't that important. The overall video, as I said, there is far more about the structure and production process. The background music is something nice that add to the experience, that make it, that add to the feeling. So that's something that will add more subscribers, not necessarily more views. That's why that's something that's very delicate, because if you are taking the route of, okay, that's not that important, I can take free music and not care about it, yeah, but you can get copyright strike. The free copyright free music are not free. They are scams. People that are putting out that music say that they are copyright free. They wait 1 month, 2 months, maybe a year for as many people to use those music. And what happened after that is they start claiming copyright on those music without trying to make copyright strike where they want to take down your video. No, what they want to do is actually get the ad revenue from your videos. And so they can very easily do that. They say, this is a copyright claim, this is my music, and I want the income that all videos that are using my music are generating. And that's how they scam you. So never, ever, ever use copyright-free music that a channel or people are telling you are copyright-free. Because at some point you will get fucked up. Especially if you want to make it on YouTube, if you want to make money using ads, you cannot afford people stealing from you. Because this is what it is. This is stealing from you. There is another option, which is the YouTube library, where you have a ton of songs that YouTube say it's safe to use them. But as I said, when you are using something free, you don't know how long this will go on. And at some point, you're dependent on other people just to strike you and saying, no, that's mine, I want your money. So yeah, you have another option, which is Creator Mix. This one I never used. I heard people use it, but as I said, point is nothing is free in life. And when you are building a business, you need to be taking it seriously. Free stuff are generally not free. There is something behind, and you need to be careful with it. Especially for something that isn't that important as a background music, make sure to just use something that you will never have issue with, which leads me to the other part, which is the paid option. And there is many three that I've gathered. There's probably a ton more, but that's the three that are the most well known, and also that's three options depending on what you are aiming at as a content creator. You may want to choose one or other. The first one is Epidemic Sound, probably the most known platform when it comes to music and sound effects. It works really well. What it does, it just associate your channel account to Epidemic Sound account, and every time you post a video, you will not get copyright strike. And even if you top the subscription, any video that has been posted at some point during your subscription will never get copyright strike. So that's something that at least you will be ever forever have a peace in mind with that. I have used it and I've never had any issue with it. So that's, I think, the safest option I've tried. Then you have another one, which is Artlist, where for Artlist, same deal. Same deal as Epidemic Sound. It's well known. It's very secure, so that there is no issue with that. But there is, so you need to think about it, because this one offers a lot more options depending on what type of video you want to make. If you want to use After Effects, footage, AI voiceover or those kind of stuff. you may want to consider this. If your goal is just use music, Epidemic Sound is the biggest library by far, and you cannot go wrong with that. But if you want more option or just that's just a different way. So as you see, there is a different payment plan where. Depending on your need, you will choose one or the other. And honestly, I cannot choose for you because I'm just telling you that this website is a trusty one. You can trust it. No issue with that. Normally, at least I never use it personally as a disclaimer, but I have a lot of creators using it, and it seemed to be fine. So, and then we have Evanto. This one is just a crazy website. You can pretty much have anything and everything you will ever want. So, videos, music, sound effect, graphics, Premiere Pro template. I mean, the list goes on. And honestly, for the price they are asking, $15 a month, that's just insane. So, yeah. You can give it a try, especially if you're getting started, you want some template for your editing and so on. That's a really good one. For instance, I'm considering using it because I'm building a website and there is a lot of template of websites. So if I can have music and sound effect and stuff for my website, that can be a good thing. So I don't know yet which one I'm going to use. And the music you're hearing in this video, probably I'm going to put in subtitles the ones that I choose when I was editing the video, but for now I haven't chosen yet because I'm hesitating. I hesitate between Epidemic Sound and Evanto because the art list I don't see yet the need for me, and I would like also to keep a subscription that's relatively low, $11 for Epidemic Sound or $15 for Evanto. I think is a pretty good deal. So yeah. So what's coming next? I think that's time we wrap things up. I wanted to keep things short, but I keep drifting away and away. We need to keep it simple and stupid next time. We are going to talk about introduction, making the video short and punchy, and talk about also what make a good speaker, how we can start our videos in a way that is interesting, that engage people, that's not yet an hook. A hook, we will do that later, but I believe that the intro is the next logical step, just how you start your video. The hook is just the first few seconds, so that we can do that later. And there is a lot of nuance and subtleties that come into the hook, but generally speaking, when you are at this level where I said until now this was about 100 views, I believe that this one can take us to maybe, I don't know, 200, 300, or maybe 500 views. So, yeah, because if you make it clear in the mind of your viewer where you're getting at, what they are going to get out of this video, then they are much more likely to stick around until the end. And until now, I was only just trying to remember it with my mind and trying to figure it out as I was talking, which is probably what you are doing as well. But in the next video we will see how you script that, how you make it punchy and very interesting, because this is no more just rambling things on top of your head. The closer you are from the beginning of the video, the more precise and scripted it needs to be. The core of the video can still be bullet point, but when you are getting the video started, you need the message to be clear and punchy so people know what they are going to get out of this video and want to watch until the end. Anyway, I start rambling. So thank you for watching. Go watch the next video because this is what we are going to talk about, and see you next time.